Hey guys, it's Sunday and I am officially 1 week on testosterone. I took my second shot on Friday and it's the first shot that my wife gave me at home. So I was super proud of her. She did a great job and everything went really smooth. Friday night, nothing really eventful after I had my shot. We went to bed. I didn't feel any different. I actually slept really well. I was a little scared that I might feel antsy during the night, but I actually didn't, which was cool. During the day yesterday on Saturday, I felt a little wonky at times, but nothing really terrible, nothing super weird. It kind of came and went. Last night, however, though, it seemed to trigger my anxiety a little more than it did the first time. My heart rate really wasn't shooting up, which was cool, but I kept just feeling really anxious. Normal folks who don't suffer from anxiety, when you feel any kind of changes in your body, it's kind of like, oh, that's strange. But when you have any kind of anxiety disorder, when you feel something different in your body, your natural reaction is it's a stroke, it's a heart attack, it's a stroke and a heart attack, it's a stroke attack, oh my God. But everything was fine. It passed. I was good. I lost a little bit of sleep because, of course, once the anxiety attack was over, I still had that adrenaline. So I just watched reruns of Daria on Hulu, which I just found out that was on Hulu. I was super excited. Anyhow, as far as any physical changes, the only thing I've been feeling, which is interesting, is that I cannot get enough stretching. It feels amazing. And I Googled that because I thought, well, it's kind of peculiar, but it feels like I can't get enough of it. And sure enough, a lot of other guys said they'd gone through the same thing, and it could possibly be attributed to the changes that are taking place in your muscles. Nothing that you can physically see right now. Of course, I don't look amazing yet, but I still got a lot of weight to lose, so slow process, but it's cool. But anyhow, that's the only thing I've been feeling. Voice is still normal. Body hair is still normal. No facial hair. I don't have a rockin' goatee yet, but that's expected. It's going to take a while. This is, like going through puberty all over again, so it doesn't happen overnight. In this video, I kind of wanted to take some time to talk about how we got here, as far as me deciding to transition, as far as me even realizing that I was trans. So I won't go too far back, but at about 13 and beyond, when I was a teenager, I just thought that I was a lesbian. I identified as that because I was a female predominantly attracted to other females, so, it was the easy thing to figure out. Not really. I don't even know why I said that. I guess more so it was an easy thing to label. So I fit in a column and I was satisfied with that. So as I got older, once I was out of college and once I hit actually probably my mid-20s, I started trying to identify as genderqueer or as gender nonconformant, non-binary. Those were easy for me to identify as, and I rocked with it because I thought, well, I can do either one. It's all good. I mean, I still liked shopping at Sephora, but I could still talk circles around any guy when it came to football. So non-binary, I thought it fit. Not to say that non-binary and genderqueer people are stuck somewhere in the middle, because they're not. So don't make that assumption. There are people who are genuinely genderqueer. I just wasn't one of them. And I found that out later. So eventually I stumbled across a video from the family of a young boy named Ryland Whittington, who was transitioning from female to male. One of the things about Ryland is that he was only, I believe, 6 years old when he started transitioning, but his journey was very, very real. It wasn't one of those things where people assume, well, you're too young to make that decision or you're too young to know that. I mean, these signs were very real. So his family put out a video to show the beginning of his journey also. And so when I first found that on Facebook, I shared it and thought, oh, this is so cool. This is inspirational. What I didn't tell people around me is that I kept going back to that video and watching it because I realized that some of those things they talked about with Ryland really struck a chord with me. They talked about how, as a kid, he had an aversion to anything that was female, or anything feminine, rather. And he just showed increasing amounts of shame when he was presented as a female. And so, they talked about how they thought he was just a tomboy, but how that's a phase and phases end. And this was really only getting stronger for him. So eventually I remember watching that video again one day and I just started to cry because I thought, oh my gosh, I actually might be transgender. So a little time passed, and thanks to a conversation with my best friend, I ended up being able to realize and to fully admit, sorry, that's my dog, that I was transgender. So I came out, of course, to my close friends. I came out to my wife. I started attending therapy sessions since November. So I've been going to the same therapist, and she is fantastic. In going to therapy, it's helped me uncover a lot of things, and it's helped me understand so many things, so many thoughts, so many emotions that I couldn't put words to or describe as a kid, because you're not aware of those things. So looking back, I started to realize that I hated being called a girl, because that word was the thing that kept me from doing so many things I wanted to do. I was told I could be a president. I was always told I could be an astronaut, but I couldn't be a quarterback in the NFL. I couldn't be the starting pitcher for the Texas Rangers. I couldn't be Troy Aikman. I couldn't be Steve Young. I couldn't be Nolan Ryan. I couldn't do these things, Looking back at school, I hated when we were segregated by sex, by boys against girls, The people I identified with were all standing across from me, and the people I couldn't identify with were all around me, and they couldn't identify with me either, I thought, why did everyone else get a body and a mind that they are comfortable with, I'm not pretty like the girls. I'm not masculine like the boys. What the hell am I supposed to be? I just didn't think it was fair, and it was hard. It was super hard to deal with, and I didn't realize that until I started going to therapy, and I thought, all those times where I really felt alone or I felt so different, all of those times were so real, and there was a reason for them. So therapy has been fantastic for me. I don't know what I would have done without it, because it has helped me to understand myself so much better. And I would really recommend it for anybody out there who's feeling the same way, or just, not understanding quite what's going on. But some of the reasons I wanted to make these videos too is that I found a couple of times that I've been rejected by some of the trans community, because they've told me, well, you don't know and you'll never know the true struggles of real trans people, because you have family and friends who love you and embrace you and support you, and you have a job and you have stability and you're married. But I want to put it out there that being trans isn't necessarily a tragedy, What kind of message are we sending to those trans kids out there who think this is going to be my future? Is that I'm going to get my ass kicked on a daily basis, or no one's going to want to marry me, no one's going to want to employ me, I'm never going to be successful. That's not the case. It is not a tragedy. I have worked my ass off to get to where I am, and I'm married, I'm happy, I have a home, I have a great job. Those things, you can have them too. I have supportive friends, I have supportive family, and the people who don't support me, I've said goodbye to them, because you know what? I don't need that. And I've been surprised to see that I have had very few people try to challenge me on what I'm feeling and what I'm doing. And yeah, in that aspect, that is unique, and I am extremely fortunate. But I want kids to know out there that this isn't a tragedy, and it doesn't have to be. And you can still live a very happy, fulfilling life by being trans and by being true to who you are. So anyhow, that is my dog crying. I'm sorry. Makoto. But anyway, she's cute and she distracts me very easily. Moving forward, I am going to take my next shot on Friday again, so I'll do it in the evening. I've been doing it in the evening so that way I'm not taking it in the morning, because just in case it makes me kind of feel weird. Thanks to Crystal for that, because she suggested that, so I really appreciate it, babe. Thank you. Because otherwise, I don't know how I would be feeling at work. It's a different type of environment, and it's not like where I'm at home where I can relax. So I'm really excited to see how it's going to go moving forward. Again, I have my next doctor's appointment on April 21st, so we will see how that goes. But until then, I hope you enjoy the video. Did it on my camera from my phone this time because my laptop is so ancient that I realized once I made my first video that the video looked really crappy. But really, Makoto? She wants to chase the birds. Anyhow, I have an Amazon wish list, and Beyonce, if you out there watching this, I will not be upset if a GoPro ends up showing up at my door. Thanks, guys, and go Stars, Central Division champs. We want the cup, baby. Thanks.